YouTube, what's going on? My name is Ekuegan. You call me EK, of course. In today's video, I'm going to go over what I'm looking for in a HOTHEAD and maybe what you should be looking for in a HOTHEAD. I also noticed that this season I've been enjoying HOTHEAD a lot, especially in Light Blade Strike. And the role that I particularly kept actually has been really good to me. So if we have to look at this gun again, Bungie has done something this season, right? A lot of these weapons were brought back, but they added a little bit, new perks to it. So if I'm looking at HOTHEAD here, you can see that they took away Danger Zone, which didn't really make any sense. Quick Draw, Threat Sector, right? And then they added auto-loading and a few more things. Now, in terms of what I want, right, we can look at mine right here. I basically have exactly what I wanted. I mean, like if you watch my previous HOTHEAD video, you understand that I did want all of this on there, especially the field prep part. And the neat thing is having the tracking module, right? It was actually the intrinsic thing on it. Bungie has now taken that away from us, whereas like when you do the Nightfall this week for this rocket launcher, you're probably gonna get like something different here. I'm not sure you're gonna get as lucky as this, but like normally it doesn't have, like the tracking was always at the bottom. Now tracking can be anywhere, right? So now you can get something like with tracking or auto loading. So if you were sitting there, you're like, what is a good roll? This is what I like to have. The reason why I like to have this is because you can still put on that big ones to do damage to bosses and majors. Cloud cartridge giving you 2 in the mag is really good, especially for burst damage. If you need to like burst down a champion real quick, right? Like you shoot one shot, he closes up, you break, you reload, you have 2, and you can just take him out with 2. The neat thing here too is you don't have to go for the reload masterwork. You can always go for like maybe handling. If you want to, even barrel wise, you can pick something for handling. But this is what I have, and this is what I've been enjoying using. Now you're gonna be like, EK, why are you making a video on this like this HOTHEAD? Like HOTHEAD's doo-doo. Not really. HOTHEAD is probably going to be one of the best rockets coming up, right? Especially if you have one person running Gallahorn, and then you get those wall pack rounds off of that person, you're set. So if we go back and we look at the TWAB, when they spoke about weapon changes, you can see here that rocket launcher subfamilies were differentiated enough by the previous change, so Bungie's making more changes. Precisions are receiving a minus 10% damage on both impact and detonation. High impact are staying where they are, but adapters and aggressive again 10% damage. Now, the one thing that Precisions basically had over adaptive and aggressive is that Precisions have built-in tracking, right? You aim down sight, you could do damage. With the others, you can't. But here's the thing. When you do get a perk like tracking on your weapon, it is freaking insane. So I do have a clip that I do want to show here because everyone's like, tracking, EK, that's not going to work. Let me show you something, all right? We're going to watch this in fast speed, and then we'll watch it like in slow speed, all right? So another neat thing about let me come back here. Another neat thing about HOTHEAD is when you take it out and you aim down, if you can see that if the center circles aren't lit up, it's not tracking anything, right? So in this clip here, you'll notice that I'm shooting things, and then as soon as I took out my rocket, it was lit up. But the cool thing here about the tracking is look how aggressive the tracking is, all right? The tracking happens as soon as I pull out my rocket. You ready? I aimed at the Shrieker, but it still went to the Ogre. Now, if we watch this in slow motion, you understand what I'm talking about and why my face kind of blew up there. Notice the scopes, right? Notice the scopes. So that Ogre has been stunned, right? My rocket is coming out. It is coming out from being put away. Have you noticed that look, it's already lit up. The rocket is already tracking. You see this? Watch this. You see that? So it's already tracking that Ogre as soon as you pull it out, right? So in my eyes, I took it out and I looked at the Shrieker, right? And I heard the thing basically set on the Shrieker. But look how fast and how good the tracking is on this rocket. Ready? This is in slow motion. Look at this. Look how fast that thing turned to go at the next target. All right. So for me, I like hitting my targets. So I think tracking is one of the first things that you want to go for on this gun. All right. Now, why clown? I like having two in the mag for damage. Okay. Explosive light is good if you're making orbs, but it's not always going to be consistent. But when it comes to burst damage, if you have something that has two in the mag, you can kind of do something with it. Now, if we look at the other options on the HOTHEAD here, you can see that there's also lasting impression. Lasting impression is not bad. If the target is something that someone that's not moving much, then maybe you can go from lasting impression that gives you, I mean, you can see the blast rate is basically just maxing out, right? You could go with something like maybe lasting impression, and instead of tracking, you could probably switch that up, right? You can either do this, okay? I'm not saying do this, but you can either do this. Imagine you having autoloading, right? That's what everyone's going to tell me. Autoloading. You shoot it, then you put it away, and then you come back to it. Neat. Another neat thing is if you have demolitionists, and this is not in the greatest case, right? But if you have demolitionists and you go for handling, let's say you go for like handling, right? You get like quick draw, and you go for handling for masterwork, right? And your handling is phenomenal. Let's just say, for instance, you went for demolitionists, right? That means you shoot one, you throw your grenade, you have another one. That means you have two lasting impression shots on one target, and then you have to reload. But having two and then switching seems like, especially if you have a short amount of time for damage, may be a great thing, okay? But overall, my god roll, like I said, is going to, I mean, I don't have the perfect one yet, but I want quick launch, impact casing, tracking, clown cartridge, and I want to reload masterwork, because with this, I can put on the big ones, so I still get that extra damage. I still get that extra damage against powerful combatants, bosses, vehicles, majors, right? You have best of both worlds. And this thing next season is going to be really good, all right? Most rockets, when they don't have tracking, you have to shoot near the feet or something. What if that thing is in the air? What if that thing is moving, right? We have a lot of agile bosses. Look at Alacool, look at Rock, right? They're moving. So precisions were good for that sense, but for now, I think this is going to be a better play. Also, just before I end this video, if you're looking for like a solo version, I honestly think doing massive VOG wouldn't be bad, especially if you have the rocket launcher. Get some spoils, right? Get you yourself one with the tracking and the Vorpal, because that slot, there's nothing really good there. But having tracking and Vorpal, you can still stack that up with the big ones, and that may be your solo rocket for next season. But yeah, that's it. If you guys like this, definitely leave a comment. If you have any thoughts on what you think might be better, definitely, you know, once again, leave it in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We're slowly creeping up on the 26,000 mark. I just want to say thank you to everyone that has joined up on this journey. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget, I stream live at twitch.tv/Ekuegan. If you have any questions, deuces.